The year is 2199. Infinite energy has been achieved and reshaped the geopolitical landscape of Earth, dissolving smaller nation-states into megastates encompassing entire continents. Behind and funding each of these states, the megacorporations that have come to dominate the world. In their shadow, the mega syndicates to fill in the negative space the corporations create. Over all of it, a vast omni-network, mapped to the world by a super AI and connected to the human mind through a semi-organic cybernetic in the brain, known as the Elevated Mind System, or the EMS. It is this cybernetic that elevated mankind's mental capacity and circumvented many of the organic restrictions of the human genetic code, opening up the gateway for liberal manipulation of the human body, both genetically and robotically. Our story begins a year earlier in the southeastern state of Cambodia of the Great Asian Federation, the GAF, in the sprawling metropolis of Phnom Penh. Rain pours down from the night sky into the bustling market below. The water sends plume of hot steam up from the cart grills and fills the market with the pungent scent of grilled synthetic meats. Raindrops pattering rapidly upon the thousands of neon-lit synth-weave umbrellas unfurled by the market goers. Through the mess of the jostling crowd, jeering gangers loitering about, and busy scurrying of robot-driven rickshaws, our attention lands on a singular figure. He hastily walks through the crowd, trenchcoat tails lapping at the puddles forming in the uneven pavement. He walks with a set determination as his fedora catches and deflects the rain, light streams of cigarette smoke rising up from beneath it. Finally, he stops before a large, dull concrete building set several meters back from the market street. A floating neon sign hangs in the overlay, just above the cold metal door, reading, Yun's Body Collection. Somewhere down the alley, the heavy rattle of refrigerator compressors kick to life, pumping biofreeze into the coroner's chamber. The man steps under the small awning above the doorway, where he removes his fedora, shaking it clear of the water. He is of a Mongolian descent, with a round face, slick black hair, and a thin mustache framing his mouth that holds the limp cigarette. He takes a deep breath as he fixes the fedora back upon his head, and then pushes his way through the door. And Dave, you can take us to the screen with Lord Marshall. The interior is even more dull than the building's exterior. It is void of color, void of furnishings, just cracked tile flooring next to cement walls, and poorly designed plastic polymer desk made to look like wood and doing an awful job at it. The man slowly approaches the desk, keenly aware that the person behind it is not lead coroner. No, this is some assistant too busy playing a nonsensical overlay game to even take note of the guest. The man clears his throat. Good evening. I am UN Detective Ballor. I'm here to examine the body and read the autopsy report.
Can you not notice this? Hang on. And I just stare off into space.
Listen.
Okay, what did you need?
A body came in earlier today.
Yeah,
autopsy.
A lot of bodies came in here.
This one was missing its head, with an M carved on its chest. I'm sure you would have noticed it.
Yeah, okay. I know which body you're talking about, yeah.
Can you take me to it?
Can I take you to the... Can I see some identification?
He holds out his UN badge in front of you.
Hang on. Oh. Yeah. And as I've taken off like this visor, you notice the only cybernetics that are visible at all are these two little nodes on either side that the glasses actually like connect to. Otherwise, I very might well be completely non-cybernetic, not have any enhancements. This way. And I'll set the glasses down, kind of straighten myself up. What's the UN got to do with this?
You did not take the autopsy, or was that the lead coroner?
Did that need to be done right away?
Yes, very right away.
If you could run out and grab a coffee or, just anything real quick, I'll get the paperwork on the autopsy that I absolutely did right when the body came in.
I understand. I'll watch you do the autopsy then.
All right, then.
Would you like a cigarette? He pulls out a cigarette. Actually,
Yes.
He lifts up his hand and his finger opens up and a cigarette shoots out.
No, I do not want a finger cigarette. Thank you, though.
He takes it in his mouth, tossing the butt of his other cigarette onto the concrete floor, and another finger opens with a lighter and starts it. Well, proceed. I will watch you do the autopsy. Did the other coroner fill you in at all?
I haven't actually seen the head coroner for a couple of days. I do work odd hours, and they have a completely different schedule. And I'll be honest, I didn't really check my messages when I got in.
Understood. Well, while you do the autopsy, I'll fill you in.
I'll lead him back through what could potentially be a much cleaner area that probably needs to be, decontaminated and hosed down and stuff. Pull out a body from the refrigerator area, wheel it over, pull the blanket or the sheet off of it, realize this person has a head. That was not the right body. Put them away, collect the correct body, bring it over. This one does not have a head. To be clear, did this body come with a head?
There would be no head, no.
And it was never found.
That is correct.
Ooh,
Somewhat
interesting.
Trend.
I will actually run back out, get my visor, put it back on.
He's like very confused as you run back out, and he's like just in the coroner's room with a cigarette, and you just like run out.
There are several like tense moments of him just standing there, and then I come back and loading up some programs to interact with the various robotics that are around, and they begin animating and going to cut this body open and do scans.
So as you as the robotic arms kind of come back and pull off kind of like the cloth that was covering the body, you see the body of a Caucasian male, beheaded, an M carved into the chest. Interesting enough, all of the fingertips have been removed. And accompanying with the body, it's not quite true that there's no head. There is 3 strands of the tongue that accompany the body.
Out of curiosity, is this a capital M, or is it in any kind of motif that I would recognize?
It is a capital M. If you would go ahead and make a medicine check for me.
First roll of the game.
First roll of the game. So that's going to be under intelligence.
So now I roll 4d6. Is that right? Because I have a 4.
That's correct.
And then I have a 3 in medical, so I'm going to add
+3 to the result.
Okay. And do I add all the dice together?
So you're going to roll 4 dice, and add it all up, and then you're going to add 3 more to it for the skill.
Holy moly. 3 6s, so that's 18, and a 1. 19,
Ooh, that's very good.
And 3 is 22.
Perfect.
That'll be
you're
my best roll of this series.
That was a very good roll. Yeah, triple sixes. As you roll, as you kind of examine this body, the M is a capital M carved into the chest. However, the precision at which this M is carved into the chest seems like maybe with like a highly accurate laser device. It is so fine and perfect of an M into organic matter. It's pretty enamoring how you don't have any sort of other tearing of tissues around the M or anything like that. The head looks to be a relatively clean cut. You can tell that it was done with some sort of blade, extremely sharp. Not all too surprising there. The fingertips, as you examine the hands and the fingertips, it looks as if the fingertips were torn off. But in such a way that, like, literally it would just be like the identification, like the kind of the front end of the fingertip, and you're not quite sure how they did it without damaging any other part of the hand.
Okay. Is there any residue, like if my fingertips got glued to something and I yanked it back and it ripped them off, maybe there's glue residue?
There's no surrounding residue on any of the fingertips. Nor does there seem to be bruises, like, other than, of course, they're ripped off, but it doesn't seem like there was, like, some sort of tool used.
Okay.
It was as if something was able to just pull them off, without leaving any sort of trace around the fingertips.
And the last question, is there any, like, sometimes, like if you're cutting something, there'll be pieces of the device that it was cut, like shards of metal, little fibers of something. Is there any sign of anything that is anywhere on any of these cuts? Or
no? What you do notice is hyper extension through the fibers of the skin and the muscles.
Oh, okay.
As if they were literally pulled off. But you don't know how that would be quite possible. But it's like they pulled off the finger.
And no fibers or shards or anything from the blade that cut off the head? No.
Oh, and the neck. In the neck, you would find trace amounts of maybe particulate matter. It seems to indicate likely some sort of high density metal blade. Nothing that would be like something you could purchase from a weapons store.
And whereas, like, this would probably conclude my average, this is a UN representative and probably wants to know everything. Let's just make sure that the cause of death was the beheading. Is there any sign that any drugs, any heart attack, anything else that this isn't all just like a cover up for something else?
Yeah. So the arms begin to cut into the torso. You're going to look for organ damage or things like that. The toxology report was already ran.
Okay.
There, and you have like a pamphlet there. Looking at the pamphlet, this person's name is Samuel Glee. Really not a heck of a lot of information on Samuel Glee other than he was a marine biologist whose specialty was in deep sea flora and fauna from a nearby university. That's where he was operating out of. His toxology comes back negative for any kind of drugs in his system. And as the machines work cutting open the body, Detective Belor begins to kind of tell you a little bit. Yes, we found this body in his apartment. You asked what does the UN want with this sort of thing? Well, there's been a string of murders, much like this, throughout Southeast Asia. A couple others here in Phnom Penh. Before that, Bangkok, quite a few there. Before that, down into Malaysia. All of them, and he motions towards, what would now be one side of the chest cavity where the M is carved in. The M carved in. My predecessor, and now I believe these are connected. A singular individual, serial killer in the mix. But difficult to find. You seen any other bodies like this come by?
As the robots kind of wind down and everything, I'll stop, take off my glasses, think about it. Have I seen any others like this?
You have not. You have heard at another coroner's office about a body like this. In passing, it was something you thought, well, that's weird. But then, something fun happened in your game and you were like, all right. And you got back to business. So,
completely.
But now that you think about it, yeah, there was another coroner's. Yeah.
I'm going to actually put my visor back on and see if I can access that information.
Yeah.
Like, is it network or...
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and do a net diving check? You would have access to that network via Yun's credentials.
Oh, wow. So the opposite of my last roll. So we got 3 1s.
Love it.
And a 6. So we got 9, 12 total.
12. You're still able to access some amount of information. There was another person back in February. So this is July of 2198. There was another person back in February known as John Yatori. You're not able to access his actual files, but you are able to see a brief description and his body came in 90 pieces.
Wow. I actually say that out loud. Wow. Even though he can't see anything that I'm looking at. I'm going to just kind of I'm going to throw this over to him. Now, whether or not he has any kind of device, like my visor allows me to just throw him the information. If he has anything to catch it, I don't know or care. I'm just like...
You do it through the overlay. Yeah, he pulls up the overlay. You are looking at the Yatori case. That one.
I mean, I'd rather not be
brutal. Yes, this John Yatori, perhaps the most brutal of the cases we've come across. His body, like it says, severed in 90 pieces and rearranged into some sort of deranged art piece of sorts, representing tentacles, this sort of thing. Interesting. That was the most we've seen written from this killer. And that, he wrote in the subject's blood, "To you, mother, a final prayer. Whisper once more to me."
So... the deep sea flora and fauna things kind of connects in my head. Is there? I'm going to go ahead and I don't want to see this. This is going to keep me up for days, but I'm going to swipe over and look at the image that the police took of this artwork.
Yeah, the artwork has rearranged the torso to essentially be what looks like some sort of body. And then all of the other pieces are arranged like 3 or 4 tendrils reaching out almost like octopus tentacles.
Okay.
What's interesting is all of it is missing blood.
Oh, okay.
As if the whole body was drained of its blood and then rearranged. And then the only blood of the subject was found written in a circle around it in that lettering. Sorry, Emery.
Okay.
Like I said, the most brutal we've seen from this killer. But connected. Seemingly obsessed with a mother figure.
How do you know they're connected?
The mother. Not the first time he's written to mother. Though it is the longest. That's what the M means.
Was there? This is probably not my business. This is probably your stuff. If you want to tell me, you can. Was there like some?
No, what I would like and why I have told you. If you see any other bodies come through, or if you hear in your network of other bodies, I'd appreciate a phone call. And he sends you his digital card. I'll
actually save that one. Usually I'm just like automatically like dropping it in my yeah. So he might actually notice. I do a lot of hand gesturing, and that's not necessarily something everyone does, but he might actually see me stop as I start like dragging it towards the trash bin. I'm like, oh no, wait, and I swipe it over to my contacts. I'm assuming when you say bodies come in, you mean like something that might have to do with this, not just anybody.
No doubt it will have an M carved into it. It's been the only consistent thing. But if you suspect, even if there's no M, but it seems like something, you can call me.
All right, will do.
And
do you want any extra for this?
Yes. I imagine the UN can compensate for tips. And there is no expiration until this individual is caught. Thank you for the autopsy report. Please send the last of the details over to me. But I imagine it's what I suspect.
As I'm wrapping everything up and dropping the file to him, I'll open my to-do list and actually like put a pin in to keep an eye out for these bodies, because I will probably forget.
Well, for both our sakes, I hope our paths don't need to cross again. We don't need to face any more of these bodies, but we probably will. And he turns and starts walking out.
As he leaves and I'm like putting the body away and cleaning everything up, and I go back to sit down and like I've been itching to get back to my game this whole time, but as I sit down and I like bring it up and it's in my interface, I'm just like, I swipe it off to minimize it to the side, and I start bringing up like recent cases and just kind of start going through things to see if there's anything. He's kind of like sparked my interest, and I want to see if there's been anything that they've missed from other bodies.
You begin going down a rabbit trail. A dark rabbit trail. You hear, oh right, it took place in Bangkok. So you start pulling on your networks and your strings there, seeing these cases. And perhaps Lord Marshall becomes a little interested in this case.
I feel like I should say when he came in, he would have seen I had a name badge that just says Smith.
Smith.
Because technically, yet.
No, you're not yet.
Not Lord Marshall,
Yes.
right?
Smith, right. And so with that, we're going to transition. We're going to move now ahead into 1 year ahead into 2199. It is February 2199. You can transition now, Dave, to the 2 screen with you and Emery. We transition to the year 2199 in February. Here we are in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City, in southern Vietnam of the GAF. Officer Bricks drives up with his vehicle to the penitentiary, not far out of Ho Chi Minh City, to pick up Emery Jokey, someone who shares Brix's, or at least parts of Brix's genetic code, and who Brix helped get out of prison. Emery, you hear the buzzing gate as the gates open. You were set to spend 5 years for having pushed a man from the 10th floor balcony of his room down to the street. This was, you came to find out that somehow amazingly, despite you having an alibi and everything else, that you were, in fact, your genetic code was found on the scene. And you were found guilty of the murder of this man. Now, he was a criminal. He wasn't a great guy. But it was cold-blooded murder nonetheless, and therefore you got 5 years instead of longer. However, you came to find out only, like a couple days ago, your sentence has been served at 2 years. And with really no other explanation, despite your asking, you're given your things a couple days later and ushered out into the courtyard. You have no idea how you're gonna get back to your home or anything like. You just kind of walk out with your last couple of things on you. And as you walk out through the yard, you see Officer Bricks kind of near the exit. You don't know, well, I mean, you might know, but Officer Bricks, will you describe yourself?
Absolutely. I think before even arriving at the penitentiary, Bricks is thinking about the moment where he meets Emery, the things that he wants to say, the explanations he wants to provide, the excuses that always pile up in the back of his head. And he's running through different scenarios as he does. He's a tactician. He thinks about moves ahead of where he is now and how he can generally be in a place of positioning himself to win. And he is driving a rather beat up vehicle. I mean, he's a low level tactical officer for the local, law enforcement. He's not making a lot of money. He does side jobs, he calls them, to make a little bit of extra crypt when he can. And sometimes he's been stiffed on those things, but nevertheless, he drives kind of a beat up vehicle. As he's pulling up in front of this massive penitentiary, just looming, he pulls it into a parking spot. There's probably not many other cars in the parking lot at this place, so it's very obvious that it's him to pick up the released individual, Emery. But he quickly looks down at the passenger side of his car, and there's wrappers from food and things, and he kind of reaches out, for fuck's sake. And he reaches down, he gathers them up, and he throws them in the back seat, and kind of brushes the seat off. There's hair and dust and crumbs and all kinds of stuff. And, he's just kind of like brushing it to make it better. And he damn ripe in here. And he rolls the window down. It's a crank window. So, like he's not making a lot of money. It's a manual crank window. He cranks the window down on both sides to get a little airflow. And of course, the air in Ho Chi Minh City is probably not a whole lot better than what's inside, depending on maybe where you are. But certainly in this part of town, probably not, or part of the city, maybe not the best. But he gets out and reaches down and pulls out this beat up fedora that he places on his head, and he has this long dark trench coat that's seen many, many years, and he kind of dusts himself off. He straightens his tie and tightens it around his neck, and you can see he's got sort of this gray flecks of gray along the temple. He's got this this eternal 5 o'clock shadow that just is always there, regardless of any shaving routine that he may or may not employ at any given time. He's got an obvious ocular implant, this sort of large ocular cybernetic implant that kind of glows with a red, kind of an ominous red glow, and sometimes has a little light that kind of goes back and forth on it, and sometimes it'll change colors and that sort of thing, but typically it's got this sort of dull red glow. And with his hand that he's holding and putting this fedora on, you could see that he's got this cybernetic hand, and it kind of disappears underneath the sleeve of his trench coat. And at this moment, he's filled with sort of a little bit of trepidation and guilt. Obviously, he's nervous about this individual that he feels somehow responsible for, even though they really don't know each other. That being said, their genetic identifiers were nearly identical, so they probably came from the same vat of genetic stew when they were birthed. And so he has this sense of responsibility. So he gets up and he puts his hat on and all this, and he kind of walks over. He grabs a cup of lemongrass tea and like a styrofoam cup out of the cup holder. He's got 2 of them. He grabs the other one, and he just kind of like sits on the hood of the car as he's waiting for Emery to exit. And he's just thinking to himself, like, how the fuck am I going to explain this? Damn it. Always happens to me, for fuck's sake.
And Emery, as you walk the yard, why don't you explain your character to us?
Emery is what you would almost call a typical female. She's very boisterous, very loud sometimes. And she has, like Officer Bricks, has a cybernetic arm on the right-hand side. She has bright blue roots and black hair, and then some blue on the bottom too. She loves to carry her 2 favorite weapons that we'll get into later. And she's just confused as to why she's out.
And you walk on out, unfortunately, halfway through the yard, and pretty common for you, your foot catches on a random rock, and you trip and fall. And Officer Bricks, you see her clumsily clatter to the ground and then kind of stand back up.
I just spit lemongrass tea out of my mouth, just and then try to just wipe it off.
And amazingly, however, Emery has lost like none of her composure. This just seems like every day to her. and she vacates. And so Emery, you kind of come out of the last gate, and there's like no cars except for this one, and this guy who is kind of looking in your direction, holding 2 cups in his hands, but you don't really know who this is. Yeah.
The minute you come out of the main gate, past the last checkpoint into the parking area, I stand up and kind of like stand straight and erect and just sort of like almost at attention. But then I kind of realize this isn't one of those situations, so I kind of like relax back in a little bit. But I take one step in your direction, then just kind of stop and just kind of do a nod.
Emery will walk up to Bricks and be like, I suppose you are my transport. Can we stop and get a burger before we go anywhere else?
You must be Emery then.
Yeah, that's me, sweetened in the flesh.
Wow, you're just a peach.
Thank you. I always thought so.
I brought you this. It's tea. Thought you might be interested. I'll hold it up for you.
Thank you. And I take the cup and I pour it out next to me.
That's a bit rude.
Bless your heart. Thank you for the tea.
You're welcome. Yeah, hop in. I can get you to wherever you need to go.
Wonderful. Oh, look at you. You all cleaned up in your car from me.
Hold on. I got to open the door for you from the inside. Just a minute. I'll get in on the driver's side and like reach over and just like, God damn it. And then finally I get the latch and it opens up.
Well, isn't that special? All right. So about that burger?
Burger. Yeah, I know a place. I suppose it's been a while since you've had a good meal.
Yes, I would say 2 years, but actually I was supposed to survive. Don't know how I'm getting out this early, but hey, I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, burger. And I'll crank the ignition. It turns over. Luckily, I'm like, good. Relieved, and I sort of peel out of the penitentiary parking lot and head down the highway towards the district of town where there might be some like street food vendors, that kind of thing. I'm definitely not interested in a burger, but Emery needs what Emery needs. So
yeah, as you kind of drive, the only thing you can think of is kind of like usual spots the police force goes to. They're decent enough food, so you're like, all right, now in your precinct.
Yeah, I'd like to go to a place where there's a variety of meals, because I'm definitely going to get some pho and something hot. Yeah, hot to sip and soup on. But yeah, I'll drive along, and as we're driving, in the car, look, Emery, you don't know me, but the name's Carl.
Well, hi there, Carl. It's nice to meet you.
It's good to meet you too. Look, I don't know if there's any other way to say this, but this whole business with you being, locked up.
Yeah, I told him that I didn't do it, but apparently there's some sort of thing at the scene that says I had an alibi and everything. My lawyer was not a good lawyer, I tell you.
No, they wasn't. Or they weren't. Look, it's called DNA, and there was, well, I should say there was a bit of your DNA or thereabouts on the scene that got you thrown away. But look, there's no easier way to say this, but I had something to do with it. Part of the reason that you were put in prison was because of me, and I pulled a few strings to get you out as quick as I could after I learned what happened. Look, I don't know how I could make it up to you, Emery, but I figured if I came here and at least gave you a lift, maybe helped you out a little bit. I mean, I'm not a man of great means, but I could maybe pull some strings or something if there's anything I can do. I guess what I'm saying is I'm sorry.
I appreciate the apology. It is not accepted. I'll think about it.
That's understandable.
However, I am a woman who does have some connections, so I'm not too terribly worried about things. You could spring for the burger for me, and then we can talk about maybe you have a way to get me some money.
Yeah, of course. Burger. I reach down and I push the little cigarette lighter into, how you push the cigarette lighter into the auxiliary thing and it starts to heat up, and I pull out a pack of cigarettes from inside my jacket and kind of shake the pack so a couple of the tips, the filters kind of poke out, and I just I just kind of gesture over towards Emery.
Thank you. I used to smoke. To be clear, I still smoke, but I don't need anything right now. Thank you.
I thought you said you used to too, but that's all right. And I'll just reach up and I'll pull out a cigarette, throw the pack on the dashboard, and then about that same time, the little cigarette lighter pops out, ting, and I'll light that up, take a big pull. What kind of work are you interested in getting into, Emery? What's your specialty? I mean, we've all got our gigs, right? What's yours?
I would say a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I just
Heard
don't
of that.
do anything with the physical part of myself unless it's to fight with something. But usually it comes out all right. I mean,
I certainly wasn't thinking anything indecent, of course. You look quite capable in a variety of different scenarios, I must say. But
and I don't know, but people tend to love me. So I do meet quite a few different people, and they usually are really, helpful. But I'm not exactly in the place that I was, so I have to see if I can get some money so that I can contact people and get back into the game.
yeah, the game. Well, look, like I said, part of this whole predicament that you found yourself in is of my doing. So I'll do anything I can to help you for as long as I can. But like I said,
you were an officer?
That's right.
Okay, what kind of officer?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I mean, I've done some investigations, worked my way up. I'm currently serving as a tactical officer on one of the SWAT teams. Kind of
I don't know how close I want
smash
to
and
get
grab kind of thing.
cops
I like to
necessarily.
smash things
Smash things. Got it.
and grab
Okay.
them afterwards, but mostly the smashing part.
Okay. You can skip the grabbing with me. But I don't necessarily want to do anything with let's say the authorities, since I've had a bad taste in my mouth after 2
Sure.
years.
Sure.
So if you know somebody who's, looking for a sugar baby, I'm definitely around.
Fair enough. I'll see what I can do. Let's go get that burger.
Yes, please.
You guys pull up to a sort of like a food market, lots of different stalls where you guys can take your choice. And as you're getting Emery, you've gotten Emery her burger. There's like the little kind of like round plastic tabletops and all kinds of in the overlay floating neon graphics and advertisements going on, bustling about. And you head over to your FA, and it's around this time, Bricks, that you get a call from Detective Ballor, who you know at this
Yeah, I just pull out the personal communication unit that I've got and just Bricks.
Yes, Detective Ballor here. Bricks, were you able to get her out all right?
You mean Emery? Yeah, she's
The one
She's
I
right
pulled
here
the
with
favor for. Oh,
yeah.
good.
Just
Just making
picture
sure there was no complications with the orders sent through.
Look, what do you want? I know that this isn't a courtesy call.
Just checking in. It's been a while since the last murder, and I need to make sure that, I suspect there's going to be another one soon. And like I said,
Always is another one with these people.
right. And I've been pulled off of the case.
Wait a minute. Say what now? Pulled off. This is your case, Ballor. You won't
I don't
shut
know
up
why.
about this goddamn case.
That's right. I don't know why. Something I was looking into.
That
Got
sounds
somebody
fishy.
up top rattled. They've replaced me with another detective.
Let me ask you
But
a
I don't
question,
think-
Balor.
Yeah.
What is it about this? What is it about this mother that's got you so bound up?
Well, I suppose not being on the case. And since you owe me, I might as well let you in. The detective before me. Detective Sebastian Yasuda. He was the first body that I analyzed when I took the case. He was researching, looking into this murderer before me.
And then the murderer killed him.
That's right. He got too close to something. And the murderer also took out any leads. The people Yasuda was investigating, all of them too, dead before I could question.
You know what, Balor? That kind of sounds like you got a hell of a good deal just getting pulled off the case rather than murdered yourself.
I suppose some would look at it that way. Not me. Mainly because I think I know who.
No shit. All right, I'm listening. What do you want me to do about it? I ain't no
The next
fancy UN
time-
detective like you.
No, but the murders are here. Well, at least the last couple of them. And I suspect the next one.
Say it again. Sorry.
The murders are taking place here in Ho
We're
Chi
there.
Minh, as you know.
Yeah.
And I suspect the next one will be as well. I no
Okay.
longer on the case. I'm only a couple of dots from connecting who I think it is. So when it happens, and when it does happen, no doubt many police officers are going to be called to the scene. I need you to give me a heads up. I'm compiling a little team to go in unofficially. Ideally, before another detective can get there.
So what, you want me to, I don't know, work with a bunch of criminal sorts to gain access to a cordon crime scene, possibly muck about with some important evidence, that kind of thing?
Yes, I figured that's sort of thing you're quite good at.
Well, as I was just saying earlier to someone that we both know, we all have our specialities.
And I have crypt. I'm sure we can come to
I'm
more.
hearing you loud and clear, Balor. All right. Send me the information, address, and everything, and let me know where you need me, when you need me.
That's actually the other way around. I need you the moment you hear about something that sounds like the mother killer. I need you to let me know.
So
And
you're
then I
fully
need you
off
to
the
get in the
case
crew.
already? Is that what you're saying?
They took me off, Rix.
Okay. All right.
I'm dead in the water.
Look, I know, I'm fully aware that I owe you. And I'll do this, but then we're done.
Trust me, Bricks. I'm no dynasty. We'll be done.
Yeah, that's the truth. And then I'm going to hang up. Well, it might just be your lucky day, Emery.
Oh, ever so helpful. What can I do for you?
Great stuff. I'm not exactly sure yet what the specifics are, but I think we just had a bit of a job land in our laps. Well, in my lap. And since I am somewhat indebted to you, at least for the time being, I'll see if I can bring you in on it.
Beautiful. Do you have any things that maybe I can look into for you or anything like that so I get a heads up?
You might need to look into modifying your condition of not doing work for a sort of law enforcement operation. Just consider it.
I will, because it's about the crypt.
It's all about that sweet, sweet crypt.
Yeah. And not for nothing. I can down me a couple more than burgers. So
Yeah,
I
order up. It's on me.
And with that, we transition now to current day. We can move to a single screen with Ty. Sorry, it's single screen with me and a single screen.
I got you, buddy.
Ty, Wraith, you've been with the House of Autumn's End now for a while. You've worked some jobs. Your skills are a specialty and one that the House of Autumn's End is quite well known for. You finished a job. Your last job was maybe about half a month ago. So you're kind of on hiatus. It's usually about a month in between jobs. Make sure Eidolons can rest up and whatever. So you're just like in your home. Maybe sometimes you're going to the house just to get details, these sort of things. But along the way, you get a call. The call identifies as UN Detective Belor, who you have no idea who this is.
Hello?
Hello, is this Wraith?
It depends on who's asking.
Right. This is UN Detective Belor.
Yeah, that's what it said.
Yeah. Your friend, maybe a mutual friend, one Tefler.
Okay.
Carl Tefler. You know the guy?
Let's say I do.
Well, he gave me your number. I'm looking for a professional with your unique skills.
What can I do for you?
Listen, I know you work for the House of Autumn's End. Don't much care about that. Can't say the UN's fond of houses, but it's a necessary evil in this world. I'm looking to contract you apart from the house. Though, if you want the house involved, they can, but it will muck things up, I think, a bit.
I'm listening.
I've been analyzing been on the case for a serial murder now for several years. It has evolved. And I have a sinking suspicion that somehow psionics have entered the mix.
Got any details on that?
I can send you the details.
All
They're
right.
not going to be pretty, though.
Well, I've seen a thing or two.
He begins to send over the files. As he does, he continues to talk. These are files as described in Lord Marshall. Some of these same happenings. I'll go over some others here in a minute. For a while now, the murders have taken on a more supernatural note to them. I can't explain it beyond psionics somehow being at play, though I would have a hard time believing the murderer is psionic. This is why I need somebody like you. Unfortunately, I've been taken off of the case, so in my own way, I'm going rogue. But I don't much care. I'm close to capturing this person, and every time someone has, they've either ended up dead or removed in this case. I'm going to see it through. What I need is a scion, like yourself. The company, patchwork of other individuals onto a crime scene. Investigate for me, hopefully giving me the last clues I need to positively identify the killer and hunt him down.
I'm interested. I can imagine why Tefler sent you my way. Well, if I do say so myself, I am the best.
So I've heard. At least Tefler says so. To be fair, however, I don't think Scions usually advertise themselves much. I'd be willing to see what you can't do.
Yeah. Well, that's why Tefler had to send you. Because I wasn't going to find you myself.
That's true. What I can say is there's 7,000 crypt in for it. You can get me the clues I need off of the murder scene, and I am confident. This next one, I'll catch him.
I'm almost spending it already.
Well, I'm glad to hear. We're in Ho Chi Minh. Not sure where you're at about this time, but I know House of Autumn's End has a house nearby. Should be able to get you here quick and easy. If not, I'll cover that too.
I'll make the arrangements with the house. You cover it. We'll call it even.
That's fair. That's fair, Wraith. I look forward to working with you again. Tefla had nothing but good things to say. And I think we'll need somebody with your professional caliber on the team.
Well, hey. Thanks for calling me.
And with that, he hangs up. Wraith, the files that you received. You see the beheaded one from Nam Pen. Strangely, the marking in the chest, strangely accurate. You see the body completely drained of blood, yet the flesh in the body and cut into pieces. Yet the flesh in the body would say that the person died in an amount of time that makes no actual sense to have their entire body drained of fluids. But more importantly, what catches you is a couple of cases that have happened more recently. The most recent, or the one more recent, so several months later, after the beheading, fingertips missing character, was one woman named Tuyet Vu. Her body, strangely enough, was not beheaded. Instead of having the M carved on her chest, it was carved on her forehead. And instead of an M, it is for mother carved on the forehead. But this isn't what takes you. What takes you is the chest had been splayed open and large amounts of flesh, muscle, and bone all missing. However, the entire nerve structure remained entirely in place, as if all of it had been removed, but the nerves rigid, making up all of the nerve endings and branches within the entire chest cavity. No technology, certainly that you know of, can do this. I mean, you're even grasping at what sort of psionics would do this sort of thing, but it just seems, you would agree, strangely supernatural.
I don't know how many murders I've seen, but I know how unusual abilities work. Is there any sort of cult connection that I am aware of, potentially?
Cult connection. Can I have you make... I'll have you make 2 rolls. I'll have you first make a psionics check. Because you're looking into like psionic cults or what we would call covens. Those not attached to a conclave. Kind of rogue psionic groups. So go ahead and make a psionics check, and then I'll also have you make a streetwise check.
Okay. So psionics is my core ability plus my psionic dice total?
Yep, so psionics is going to be your wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number of dice, and then you just add your psionic skill value to the result that you roll.
So that's 7 total.
So you would, so it would be you roll like the 4 dice,
Uh-huh.
and then you just add +3
Got
to
it.
whatever the
Got it.
result is. Yep.
Okay. Mm, 12.
Oh, okay. And then go ahead and make a streetwise check.
Streetwise.
Also going to be wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah.
$15.
15. You know of some coven activity in kind of southeastern GAF area. However, it's fairly infantile. And what you're looking at would require a highly developed psionic user. That would be your assumption. Somebody who has honed their powers extremely well. And we're talking, people high up in the conclave.
Mm-hmm. Well, my first thought is I need to contact the conclave. I need to reach out to Brother Tepes.
Okay. Let me take a look at Brother Felix Tepes. Okay. You call out to Tepes. What can I do for you, Wraith?
Thank you for taking my call.
Of course, always. The conclave is here for you.
I just got enlightened on some information here that has to do with some killings. And what I'm seeing is not any science, and it's really not even within the purview of psions, in my experience. If this is psionic related, it's really advanced. I thought maybe you could give me some insight.
Send the file my way. I'd be happy to take a look at it. It's a startling claim for you, Wraith.
Before I send it over to you, I'll just let you know that the UN is involved. I don't know completely all those details yet, but I have been offered a deal, contract.
Well, at this point, you know as well as I. Step carefully.
Of course. I'll forward the file.
Forward the file. I'll get back to you.
All right.
All right. And with that, we will take a break and come back and resume with a baited call from Officer Briggs. A few more days pass by. Officer Bricks, you've been on several jobs, your typical sort of stuff. It's about 11 p.m. You're about to hang up the hat, head home. From time to time, you've had interactions with Emery, but mostly her just wondering when that job's going to actually come through.
I actually had wondered, probably would have offered to Emery if they needed a place to crash. I have a 1-bedroom like loft apartment type of situation. Not probably that much bigger than the cell that they were in for the last 2 years, but a little bit more of the creature comforts, perhaps. It would have taken a bit of cleaning, mostly just like piling all the dirty laundry into the small closet and closing it. But yes, I
That checks
probably would
out.
have offered. Yeah.
Did Emery accept the offer, or did she forge her own path?
It sounds like she accepted it, which is great, and now it's going to be cleaned, which is also helpful. So yeah, but there are a couple things, Paul, if I may, before sort of leaving the precinct.
Yeah.
There's a couple things that I would want to do. One of which is access some files on UN Detective Belor.
Yes.
Specifically looking for any sort of paperwork or documentation on them being relieved or pulled off a recent string of murders. So that would be the first thing I would want to look into.
How would you like to look into this? Are you attempting to hack into UN systems, or are you just looking for like news articles and things like this?
So I assume that there is, and this may be a wrong assumption, but at this point, I'm assuming that there's at least some level of information sharing between jurisdictions. Now, I know that can get a little touchy, but I imagine we would have access to some department database network that would allow me to perhaps peruse some of the official documentation as a starting point. With, I've definitely like used some backdoors to access things that I should have accessed, but let's start at the surface here, because I do know there's something strange going on, and I don't want to necessarily expose myself.
Why don't you give a net diving check?
Okay. I will do that. Net diving. That is an intelligence check. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a 6.
Nice. You can find very little. This isn't all too surprising. You're looking through a precinct level access requirement that you have. Though it certainly gives you the system that you might be able to gather information from. This would definitely be several levels above your pay grade.
Is there any mention of him at all, like commendations or disciplinary actions or anything like that, a personnel file?
Yeah, the things that you can find him mentioned in are mostly related to cases.
Fairly mundane.
Local cases. The local cases, particularly one, is for somebody known as Tuyet Vu. I think that was her name. Yep, Tuyet Vu, which was the case I talked with Wraith about. But you are able to access that. This was the last case that you see attached to Belor's name. You did see that there was a couple
Are they the victim?
They're the victim. Yep.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And he was the detective in it. This is the one on the very strange. Well, actually, just essentially what you have access to in the case file is a very strange, or as Detective Belor described it, supernatural murder.
Does it go into any detail about how he arrived at that conclusion?
Most of that is redacted above your pay grade.
Okay.
You do know that she was found outside of her apartment complex in a place rather far from her home. You do know that also in the file that Tuyet Vu was a CEO of a medical nonprofit stationed in Ho Chi Minh, but that served all of Southeast GAF.
The CEO?
Yep, the CEO.
Whoa, that's a high-profile murder.
Yes, it is. It is fairly high profile.
Are there
cases
images
seem-
of her, like pictures of her, like like a dossier, almost of like who she was? Not just pictures of the
Yep.
crime scene, although I'd be looking for that too, but pictures of them as an individual.
Almost all pictures of the crime scene are also redacted, as they
Oh.
have her body. So you suspect that how how she died
Mhm.
seems to be something that they would not want even a kind of tactical unit knowing about. This seems detective or higher and above.
Mhm. Do I know who? Does
You-
it say who's been assigned in Balor's place?
You do. Shortly after that case, but attached to that file, there is simply a removal order, not redacted. It is literally a line, a single sentence saying, "You and Detective Balor, you have been removed from the case."
Is it signed?
Yeah, it's signed by like a UN chief.
Okay, some bureaucrat.
Yeah, some bureaucrat.
I will
within
note
the-
their name in my. Yep. Okay.
and I'll have a well-formulated name next time.
No problem. Yeah.
However, the detective that replaced Detective Balor is Detective Claire Wainwright.
Do I know them?
No, with a simple search, however, Wainwright is a pretty high-profile UN detective, highly successful, extremely corporate in her
climber?
demeanor. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely the kind of person, and especially because you're somewhat the opposite of that person, you can pick them out pretty well.
All a matter of perspective, but yeah.
Somebody whose ambition is much higher than her current rank, and
Mhm.
kind of always tends to be.
I know these types. I've worked with a couple of them before. Not many of them make it as high up the ladder as Wainwright. Any dirt on her? Well, probably nothing in the file, but I guess I'll just ask in case there is any sort of disciplinary actions or commendations. I imagine they've got all sorts of administrative commendations and certificates of excellence and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. You don't
Mhm.
see anything on Wainwright. As far as you can tell, it's spotless. Balor,
In and of itself is suspicious. Nobody climbs that fast and that high without doing something nefarious.
no. Balor is harder actually to find. As far as like a case file or anything like that, probably because he's just not nearly high up the not as high profile. There isn't as much public on him, and so you really struggle to find much on Detective Balor.
What about on the mother? I would also be looking at the mother murders, obviously, like downloading or whatever, any sort of files or information that might be helpful.
So, mostly again connected to Tuyet Vu, is links to other related murders, and there is a long list.
Are they regional? Are they local in Vietnam? Are they global?
So, Tuyet Vu, 2199 January was Ho Chi Minh. Then you've got the next murder several months before in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Several months before that, another murder, John Yatori in Cambodia. Before that, another murder, now going back a couple of years, and several to follow, all in Bangkok.
Okay.
Most of these files, however, you do not have access to. You just simply see that they're connected to these, and it's like a high level connection.
This is where I might try to hack, even though this is not my specialty, because I do want to. I have a desire to know more about these murders and what I might be getting myself into, especially given the reveal that Belor let slip about how someone else who was investigating this case was murdered by the murderer that they were chasing. That makes me a little nervous. So I'll make a hacking roll.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's a 7.
7. Do you want to edge it?
Oh, gall.
You're going to need a 10.
You know what? A 7. I'm going to edge it.
All
I have
right.
edge dice.
Our first edge dice.
Here we go. Come on. I need a 3 or more. Let's do it. That's a 4 on the D4.
That's a 4.
High success.
Okay. And what exactly are you looking for in the hack? The hack does succeed in getting you a decent amount more access. It's still not going to be everything, but it certainly gets you up kind of like to your boss's level, at least.
I want the specific locations of where the murders occurred. I would be looking for similarities amongst is it 5 now victims, 4 or 5 victims, or maybe more? Are there similarities? Is there, in other words, does this serial killer have a type?
Yeah.
Were there any other calling cards or clues left behind at any? I mean, I'm assuming they all had the M. As I'm looking into this, do they all have the M? Did they all have?
They all have the M.
Were they decapitated? I guess I wouldn't know that specifically, but any other important characteristics of the murdered victims?
Yes, and for that, I will draw your attention to the journal tab of the VTT.
Oh my.
Everybody has access to it now. It should say list of victims.
Oh yeah. Oh geez.
There's more than 5.
Okay.
As you read through these pages, you see this dates back now going on 4 years. And this only goes up until the death of Detective Sebastian Yasuda, the one who began. But it is clear by the documentation that he was investigating these murders for several years before that. So there's a host of other murders that you don't have access to that happened before then. Understanding, however, the rhyme and reason is where things become extremely complicated. You see people who come from extremely low, almost poverty, from gangers, to people who CEOs of nonprofits, to some people who are fairly elite across genders. The rhyme and reason across very different, seemingly professions and connections, it all seems rather random. Outside of everyone has either an M, or some have more than that, which stands out, which is interesting. All of them beheaded, except for, of course, the most recent one of Tuyet.
Okay. And there are no documentation for murders prior to Yasuda's death?
None that you have access to.
Okay. That's interesting. But we
it
know,
doesn't
presumably
seem like...
there were a number before that as well, given the fact that Yasuda was investigating the same serial killer. So this serial killer has been around for the better part of at least, when was that 4 years ago that Yasuda was killed?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And the idea is that Yasuda was on this case for multiple years. So you're thinking 6, 7, maybe more years.
And Belor had put something together with this information and whatever else information they had access to that got them, they think, got them pulled.
Right. You've seen the pull letter. It's a single sentence. That's right.
Yeah, the pull. It's a single
There's nothing else else said in that letter, which in and of itself is highly strange.
Well, he wasn't able to call her the murderer. I mean, it sounds like this Wainwright lady might just be a better officer. That would be kind of an assumption that I would make at this point, but nonetheless. Okay. I think I'm done with the files unless there's anything else that I'm able to detect that would be helpful.
Um.
If only I had a net diver on my team. Damn it.
With that increased access, it got you a bit more of the details, the locations, the times.
Okay. I think.
So you pull those.
Go ahead.
Are you pulling those files or just looking at them?
I think if I can pull them with, is there a way to cover my track? Well, no. I mean, I'm gonna pull them.
Okay. You pull the files.
I'd like to do it in a way that doesn't paint a large bullseye on my back, though.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but some sort of.
I'll say that you're able to cover them as well as an 11 on a hacking check is able to cover them.
Okay. Which is, good enough for now.
Good enough for now.
Okay. Sweet.
All right. You pull the files. Was this like kind of at the end of your shift?
It's towards the end of the shift, and then I'm getting ready to leave, and I'll walk by sort of like some of the other personnel that are there, and I'll say goodbye to like Carmela, who's like working the front desk or whatever, and there's like the one of my contacts is Bao Zhang, who is in charge of like the evidence locker and sort of like that kind of stuff. So I'll just kind of stop by there. Bao, what's going on? You working the late shift again, it looks like, huh?
I'm not long. Guy's late again.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll be out.
Isn't that how it always is? One of these days we're gonna have to grab another drink. That was fun last time.
Definitely.
I didn't think you were gonna make it home that night, but
I didn't make it home. I woke up in an alley. Yeah, I was about 2 blocks away. It was pretty bad.
That was.
Yeah, the old lady didn't let me in either. I had to go wash somewhere else.
I should have kept a better eye on you. I had a lot going on.
A grown-ass adult. I can take care of myself. Well, I don't want to keep you. You better get on your way. I got more paperwork to fill out.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I'm just gonna kind of look around, make sure no one's around, and I'm gonna just say, hey, Bao, you got see anything interesting come in today? Anything tasty?
He also glances around. And how much influence do you want to throw at this?
I'll
if you want to throw any, you don't have to throw any.
Yeah, okay. I want some contraband. I'll throw 2 influence.
Okay.
Ooh, 10.
Ooh, very good. For those who are watching, we use influence to influence your contacts who you have, which Dave just did. He kind of narrows his eyes and he's like, yeah, we got quite a lot coming in, a lot to keep track of, if you know what I mean. And he pushes through an evidence bag towards you.
I just grab it, don't even look at what it is, and put it in my pocket. Bao.
And you see him open up a folder and crumple up one sheet in the folder and dots it.
Bao, you're an angel. I don't care what your old lady says. Hey, take care of yourself, all right? And get some rest. You look tired.
You too. And Bricks, as you head out the front door, it is right then when you get an emergency signal. All officers being called back to duty.
God damn it. What's this? I'll look at it. Is there more detail?
More details to come, it says. Please hold. And
I'll just pat the robust bag of evidence in my pocket and just be like, you're going to have to wait, baby.
And in following comes a message of all units to move to Ho-Tram communities. Now, Bricks, that the Ho-Tram communities is a highly elite district. And that they almost never call the police. Like, things have to be going really bad because most of these people own their own security.
Mm-hmm.
And you're called.
Shit. I take my hat. I just kind of smack it against my side, and to dust it off again, I fit it on there, and I head out to my rig.
All right. You grab your gear, you head out to your rig, and you begin on your way. As you're going, more reports come in. Things like the site. So, first officers on site report mass homicide at the Stone Gap Estates.
Paul, am I being activated as part of my tactical team, or is it just like get everybody there? Like, should I?
You're a part of your tactical team. However, your tactical team was already deployed because you were checking out, so they had already gone off. So you're gonna have to meet them out there. Bring an old Rusty with you.
Okay, old Rusty. All right, I will head that way.
Great. And you start heading that way. And as you're driving, the more details come in. Stone Gap Estates is your destination, multiple homicides, and then the order comes, police to vacate the premises immediately, on standby for UN detective.
Is there a name on this detective?
That comes several minutes later. The detective is Detective Wainwright.
Well, I'll be damned. That makes me, with that knowledge, I reach down into my pocket as I'm at like a stoplight, and I pull out the evidence bag, and I reach in, and there's some fine powder in there, and I just take a little bit of it on my thumbnail, and here we go.
Along with it is also a injector that reads Playmaker.
A little bonus surprise. Okay. And then I will just gun it. As fast as old Rusty will to go. You're muted, Paul.
Sorry about that. Any other calls you're making on the way?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna text. I'm gonna send a message. I'm not gonna call him because hands free. I'm gonna send a message to Belor. I think I got something. Then I'll mention Stone Gap Estates, Hotram Communities, your pal Cartwright on site.
Or Wainwright, yeah.
Or Wainwright, yeah. Wainwright on site.
You get a message back. That's the one. And with that, we can transition to everybody on screen. Yeah. Pull this up right. Okay.
Hi, guys.
The phone call goes out. Well, not to you, Emery. You're with Bricks. First to you, Wraith. You get a call from Detective Belor. Well, actually, really just a message. Wraith, I need you at Wainwright Estates in the Hotram Communities. ASAP. We'll meet outside of the gated community. There's a small building, a utilities building. This will be the location. I need you there ASAP.
How close am I to leaving or getting out of town and over to Vietnam?
Well, it's been about 3 days since your conversation. So it's assumed that you probably relocated. Yeah, you probably arrived more recently.
All right. I'll pull up public transport, an Uber, whatever,
Yeah.
and
Robot rickshaw and
Yeah.
get yourself on
Right.
over there. Awesome. It's also around this time, Lord Marshall, you get a call from a very old name. Well, a name now that you haven't quite forgotten about. You, like Officer Bricks, have a pretty good knowledge of that whole list of murders and your digging that you have done. And since transitioning, it's always been something that, you know, you've gone through some transitions, but like it's always been something that's floated in the back of your mind. And here this name pops up as you're being called. Oh, you're muted.
Shh. Whereas before, there was this early 20s fellow, this tousled brown hair, white lab coat that was probably a little stained, let's be honest. You now see it's not much older, like a year older now, but he has this shock of white hair in the front that is completely natural. His hair has prematurely grayed and is starting to gray further and further back. No new cybernetics, but as he sits in this chair in this what would be an immaculately clean apartment room, if it weren't for like just cybernetic pieces laying everywhere, it looks like a hoarder's dream has come true. And standing in the corner is a let's be honest, it's a corpse, and it's putting its left foot in, and then it's putting its left foot out, and it's putting its left foot in, and then it's shaking it all about. And I have my eyes open, but they're glazed over, and little motion can be seen in my visor as I'm just like spinning myself. And I see the call come in. And I shut down my connection to Riddick, who is the zombie in the corner. And I open up the call. Okay, when you told me last time there would be pay, I hope you're actually not joking this time. What?
Good to talk with you again, Mr. Smith.
It is Lord Marshall now. Thank you.
Ah, I see. Moving in a different direction then.
You know, I tried to get Reanimator for the longest time, but somebody stole it. And then there was Herbert West. And, you know, we're not even going to get into that because that guy is a douche.
Well, listen, there's pay. 7,000 to be exact. I need somebody who is both good with bodies and with technology.
7,000 crypt?
That's correct.
You're not joking.
No, Lord Marshall, I am not joking.
Even though he can't see me, I wipe, like, there's a little bit of food crumbs on my
I contacted your previous employer at Vu's body collection. He said you were now in Ho Chi Minh. Coincidentally, we've had another murder, like the fateful one we met.
Oh, well, I haven't really done much research on that as I, like, pull the pile of papers that I've printed out and stuff forward. What's happened? What's new?
Not exactly sure yet. I need you and a group of others to go in and examine the bodies before the UN detective on the case does.
Well, you know, I'm not with the coroner's office officially anymore. They didn't really necessarily directly fire me. They inferred that maybe I shouldn't come back to the office in person ever again.
That fits.
And that's okay?
It might actually be better. You're less connected, less trackable.
And you said 9,000, right?
Crime. No, I said 7,000.
Damn. Where do you need me? Do you need me to find other people, or do you mean like? When you say people,
There's a
do you mean
small
like an amount of
utility-
people that aren't like really people? They're just
A
like
number of people.
And okay, so living, countable people. Gotcha.
That's correct. There's a small utilities facility outside of the Hotram community. If you've heard of it, many elite and wealthy individuals live. That is where the murder has taken place. It's highly secure, and there's going to be overwhelming police force on site. However, I have a way in.
Okay, good. Because like the coroner badge I have doesn't technically expire, but they did say that I should have returned it when I was asked to not return to the office.
It could come in use, should you be found. However,
bring it.
I hope
I'll
for
bring
your sake, you're not detected. Regardless, 7,000 crypt. I need you to help examine the bodies and possibly use your tech savviness for something a little more risky than video games.
His face blanches a bit at that. But for 7,000 crypt, okay. Yeah. Is there a time? Do you like right now or?
Absolutely right now. Every minute counts. I look forward to seeing you again, Lord Marshall.
I am looking forward to seeing you.
Take care. And he hangs up.
Riddick, we got a job. Stop dancing. Come on. Carry this.
Bricks. We're going to now transition the scene to Bricks on the crime scene. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure everything's ready. All right. Bricks, do you see yourself? Does everybody see? Making sure everybody can see through Bricks on VTT.
We're on the VTT? Okay.
Yep. So Bricks is right here. Is that a thumbs up? Are we good? We're all there?
Do it one more time. Ping it one more time. Oh, yeah, I see.
Right here.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
All right. You arrive on site, Bricks. Squad cars, SWAT trucks, everywhere. This place is packed. Yet the front is not. The front doors are not open. All the police are waiting around for Wainwright. Bricks, one of your other tactical officers, kind of waves at you to come get debriefed.
Lieutenant?
Glad we caught you before you went home.
Yeah, me too. Real glad. What do you got?
We don't know much. The two on-site officers say it's a slaughterhouse inside.
Who's been inside?
8 points at this officer over here,
Mm-hmm.
and then this officer over here.
Why'd they call us in?
Well, the officers didn't get very far, but they said that the entire security detail inside of the estates has been brutally killed.
Well, that makes sense. They needed new security.
Apparently. Anyways, not really why everybody would be called in, except this is Stone Gaps. High-end financial consultants.
Right.
Family of five.
The rich and powerful players of the GAF, huh?
Yeah, you know how this works.
So what, we just sit here now?
We sit here and wait for Wainwright, the UN detective.
Look, Lieutenant. Kind of looks around, pulls him aside. Why don't you let me take a quick look at the scene before, you know how the UN does things. They're going to muck everything up. They're going to fuck up this investigation. It's going to fall back on us, probably on you. And look, I want to make sure that doesn't happen again. So between you and me, let me go take a quick look. Maybe something will jump out at me.
Have you make a charisma check?
Sure. Charisma. Okay. Ooh, that's not a D6. Oh, that is a 15.
Ooh, 15. Very good. You know this lieutenant. I wouldn't say that he's one of the 45 crooked cops, but he's one that would. He's one that is willing to look the other way.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't get his hands dirty.
Especially to save his ass, like I've kind of laid it out, right?
Yeah. He kind of flags you aside and kind of walks forward a little bit. You kind of shuffle up, just so you're not as close to everybody else. And he kind of gives it a think. Well, listen, getting you inside through the front doors ain't gonna happen without people seeing. But Bricks, hear me on this.
I'm listening.
They got a UN high-up detective coming in. You tamper with anything, you're going to be fired so fast. Get me?
I hear you, Lieutenant. Look, as far
I would
as
go
you're
through one of the
concerned,
windows. Down the way.
As far as you're concerned, Lieutenant, I'm not even fucking here.
All right. Well, you've been warned. You just be careful. Don't muck too much up.
All right.
Back. And he kind of pointed down either side of the building, which you can kind of see through the rain that's kind of pouring down. Windows lining the first floor.
And he said probably not going to go through the front door, so I will walk along. I will walk along the edge of the building to one of the windows, and
you can go ahead and move yourself.
Yeah. Attempted movement collides with at least one wall.
Yeah, so if you try to move through like a tree,
I see.
Like
Yeah.
So you just like move at smaller increments.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. It's my first time playing TTRPGs.
As you peer through the window.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you look in, you see several security guard bodies and just a proliferant amount of blood. These are not, you can't really tell, but it kind of looks like these bodies have been smashed at extreme forces into the ground.
Well, shit. I'm gonna open the window.
At this point, can I have you make an awareness check?
Yes,
but generally speaking, you're also quite aware you're relatively close to still quite a few cops, all sort of congregated around.
Okay, I'll make an awareness check first. Okay, that's 12 plus. That is a 15.
Yeah, you're definitely aware that if you tried to enter through this window now, several police officers would likely see you doing it.
Are they police officers that I know?
Some of them not. So your 6th precinct is here. This is 2nd precinct.
Okay. What about these two guys in particular?
Those two guys there, you know the tactical officer, and you know he's a straight shooter.
Oh shit!
And you know, but you don't know the petty officer, just the beat cop. However, you can see that there are several more windows quite a ways down.
I'll keep because my character's a lot smarter than Dave is. I will keep moseying down the side.
That's good.
Yeah.
And as you move down, we're going to transition. I should ask, Officer Bricks, are you going to give Emery any heads up?
Well, okay, so at this point, he doesn't... Like, there's
Actually,
no connection that he's made between Emery and this anything that's going on here. So no, she's probably... I think he would have basically told Emery, like, make yourself at home. My place is your place. If Kang and or Trista stop by, just tell them that I'm not around. You haven't seen me in a week.
Do you owe them some money or something?
It's complicated.
That's the 90th percentile of the answers of everything you've given me lately. So, okay, I'll let them know. I think there's something good on the Flicks channel.
All right.
Bricks, as you make your way down, you get another message from Detective Ballor. It says, Bricks, I have delayed Detective Wainwright's arrival to the location, buying us roughly a couple hours, hopefully. I've assembled a 2-man crew. I need you to get them into the property. Maybe accompany them, depending on, hopefully, the killer still being there.
How am I going to know who they are when they get here?
I'll send you quick details on them. They'll probably be coming through the yard. No direction that the police are in. I need you to tell me what the best approach is.
All right, I'm scoping it out right now. I'll send information when I've got it.
For Wraith and Lord Marshall, you both arrive at the utilities, small utilities room. It's like where kind of staff who keep the yards and all the grounds of the Hotram communities and keep it's like a glorified shed full of lawn equipment and other sort of stuff like that. And you find that the back door is unlocked. And upon entering, dim lit, and Detective Ballor stands there smoking a cigarette.
We arrive at the same time?
Roughly. Yeah. You kind of, as you're walking up, Wraith, you get there slightly before. You're almost at the door, and then you see Lord Marshall roll up. Well, actually, 2 people roll up. One who seems to be extremely inebriated.
Well, what you see is a bald male in a very nice sharkskin suit that actually scintillates when the light catches it.
Nice.
Way overdressed for the scene.
And stepping out of what's essentially an overpriced Uber, like he upgraded because he's getting paid money, so he upgraded from the really nice car, right? He gets out what looks like just somebody in like a doctor's smock or lab coat or whatever, but it's like black and oddly thick, like it's not made of normal material. And from this distance, it looks like an older person with like graying hair and stuff, but as he walks up closer, over his visor that's kind of scintillating different colors, you can see that his hair is actually pretty dark. He just has this weird like shock of white hair in the front. And the fellow who's walking behind him, you actually smell him before you can really make more details. There's this wave of like pine scent that gets pushed ahead of him, and you watch as he opens his mouth, and this like puff of gas comes out, and yep, that's what that pine scent is coming from. As you hear,
the first thing I do is read this dude's mind.
Which dude?
You.
Okay.
Do I get a defense?
You get a save. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You're gonna make a willpower check, and Wraith, you're gonna make a psionics check.
Right. Pose check, baby.
I mean, I do this to everybody.
I have no willpower. Oh, but I rolled one. 15.
10, 17.
Oh.
17. All right, Lord Marshall, what are sort of the surface level thoughts as you're walking up towards this guy and kind of surface level emotions?
So I feel like immediately you get, I really hope you face me this time because that was a lot of crypt for that Uber and I probably shouldn't have upgraded. But anyway, oh my God, I really need to change out the scent cartridge on Riddick's like auto scent thing because that's actually kind of horrendous, especially, oh no, that's gross. Who's this guy? What is up with that suit? I kind of want one of those.
Yeah.
I surmise that there was a similar reason for this individual to be here.
He seems to be walking with quite a bit of, like he knows where he's going, and it seems to be a similar spot as yours.
I'll open the door and look back and hold the door open and step aside, and
I will like flash my credentials at you as I walk in and be like, official coroner's business. And my body kind of tries to block your view of Riddick as he passes you, and he's carrying like my case and stuff, and he shuffles in.
I think if it's allowable, I also want to skip over and try to get a mental beat on the other dude.
All right, you try to get a read on the mental dude. There is no defense against it. It just like it's like slipping in, but there's nothing there. There's
Immediately,
no emotion. It's like
an uncanny emotional response for me. I connect that to what I was told about this being somehow supernatural or psionically above my ability, and I do that thing where it's like I'm not going to allow myself to be surprised.
As you step in, Lord Marshall, again, you see Belor smoking his cigarette, over leaning against some sort of tractor unit. Gentlemen, please step in.
I'll keep my distance from the weirdo, the weirdo.
I was going to say which one.
The one who has to do with thought.
Lord Marshall, this is Wraith. This is Lord Marshall. We'll be working together.
I'm sorry. I thought you were just the door guy. I apologize. I was actually about to tip you.
I look over at the Lure and I'm just like, I think we got our names backwards. Anyway, looking at you should anyway. Right. Yeah, I'm the door guy. That's how I dress like this.
Listen,
he starts.
We don't have time. Wraith is a House Eidolon with the House of Autumn's End. Lord Marshall was a coroner. Also knows his way around tech, but is familiar with this case.
Your credentials are probably outdated. I just want to let you. It's an observation.
Shit.
Right now, I have one Officer Briggs on scene, going to allow you access into the building, as well as your best path forward. What I need you both to do is analyze the bodies to the best of your ability. Of course, ensure that they have the M carved into them. Then we know we're on to the right killer. Second, Wraith, I need you to bring your expertise to try and understand what took place psionically. Or if it's something else. Lord Marshal, your job is the bodies. You're familiar with at least some of them. I can send you a dossier with many of the others. I need you to look for familiarities, differences, do what a coroner does, and get it all back to me. But I need you all to do it, well, in slightly less than 2 hours.
All right, where's the body?
Where's this cop?
They're at the Stone Gap Estates. Wraith, civics check for me.
Civics. Civics is...
Oh, sorry, under intelligence.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so not very good at it. And my dice hate me. 6.
6. The name seems somewhat familiar to you. You know that they're extremely wealthy. Of course, they live here. And deeply tied to the financial systems of Ho Chi Minh. You don't know much more than that, but this is an extremely high-profile client, and you would know a lot of this because House of Eidolons tends to run a lot of missions for high-profile targets for clients, and so, yeah.
I'll keep it to myself for now.
Regardless, analyze the bodies. There are, well, we don't really know how many. There are 5 family members plus the security guards. I don't care as much about the security guards as likely they were collateral. I want to know why this family and how they died. There are 5 members of the family. The parents, 2 females, an elder sister and youngest sister, and a middling child male, all adults.
Wait, they're all dead?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what lies inside of the estate, but if they are, I need all of them analyzed. All of them live at the estates. All of them, from my intel, were present at the estates before the call.
This is the first time, as far as my research has gone, that multiple bodies have been found, right?
There was one other time. Bangkok. Gang members, 7 of them. That didn't fit. I mean, it fit the profile in the case of heads missing, M's carved. But other than that, extremely violent deaths, which looked like combat.
All right, well, let's get out there and find this bricks. And I turn to Marshall and I say, how about I get the ride?
I mean, I don't want to...
Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay. Maybe you can save up for a suit.
Keep a decent perimeter on the premises. Wait for Brix's contact to tell you what angle to approach from.
He'll ring us?
He has your information. I'll send you his. Brix, you receive Lord Marshal and Wraith's information, vice versa. You're also getting a call while you two are still in the room. Essentially, he projects it through the overlay. Brix, I want you to meet Wraith and Lord Marshal. They will be accompanying you on this mission.
Sounds good. Have them meet me on the northwest corner of the structure. I think I got a way in.
West corner. Understood. The mission, Brix. I need the 2 of them. Probably you as well, if it's possible, without raising too much awareness, to go inside and analyze the bodies of the Stone Gap family. You can analyze the security guards, but my guess is that the Stone Gap family were the targets. Lord Marshal will grab detailed information on their type of death, and Wraith, who specializes in psionics, will assess the bodies.
Sounds good.
You'll be there largely for security detail, just in case anything is out of place.
That's usually why they send me everywhere I go.
All right. I'll move in, and we'll infiltrate. I'll be on standby. Keep me up to date. I will keep you up to date with Detective Wainwright's
Hey, Belor,
delay. Yes.
2 things. Run a scan if you can on the security uplink. Is it still intact? I want to know if they've got eyes on the inside, their private security or even the UN already. And also, if you fuck me on this, I will find you.
Again, Officer Briggs, I am not the Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, he drops the call.
Was that a group call or was that just 2 bricks?
Yeah, he was actually projecting that so everybody heard the conversation.
I'm not even there. Wraith notices as some of the like clusters on my visor focus in his direction as I'm just like scanning his head after I hear that he's a scion. I'm just like, interesting.
I feel like Wraith is always hyper aware of everyone when they're around. I don't necessarily know if I notice that, but every time somebody moves in my proximity to scratch their nose or to look out the window or something, I notice it.
You clock it.
Yeah.
And the 2 of you head into the estates. Bricks, what are you doing?
I am looking for a way in. And
All right.
looking to see, as I mentioned to Belor, and maybe to the others too, might be interested if there's any sort of security that's still operational on the inside that might catch us in the act of entering a cordoned off crime scene, which is, illegal.
Belor is looking into it. He will get back to you. On that note, also, Wraith, you get a message from Father
Tepes? Brother Tepes?
Tepes. Yes, Brother Tepes. Sorry. Brother Tepes, saying that he has elevated the image to a prominent figure within the Conclave. Powerful scion. They believe it is psionic, though they are having a very difficult time identifying what sort of psionic powers would be able to do such a thing. He said more to come, but that he's just kind of giving you an update.
All right. I think I'll, if I've got an emoji of the conclave, I'll just respond with that.
With that?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Bricks.
Yes.
You get a message back several minutes later from Belor. Private security has been quarantined. All footage is waiting to be reviewed by Wainwright.
All right.
I don't have more details than that. Perhaps Lord Marshall, once he's on proximity, can further scan to see what is in place.
Exactly what I was thinking, Belor. All right. We got this. I'll wait for your boys.
Perfect.
Now, Paul, have I found a a reasonable entry point as I've been sort of skirting the edge of the structure?
As you skirt down the structure quite a ways, getting lots of distance, there's like what seems to be like a dining room sort of area, and it's far enough and out of vision as well as shielded by some trees You figure this is probably one of your best goes, or at least the best one you've found so far, and it's close to the northeast.
I'll send Wraith and Lord Marshall a geolocation ping on exactly where I am. Probably in these trees here, just starting with some cover.
Are you waiting for them to? Okay, yeah, you're gonna wait for them.
Yeah, because I want the net diver to scan the systems and make sure we're not going to set off some alarm bells when we go through this window.
Over time, eventually, kind of hopping the compound walls, and maybe helping lift or seeing. You see two figures come over, one in a very immaculate suit, walking almost casually towards you. The other one comes over, but then stops and is like waiting. And this third figure, who you've heard nothing about, comes like lumbering over, very awkward, almost like a puppet, and then essentially falls, smacks into the ground, and then stands right back up.
I'll just nod to these guys as they're coming in to the copse of trees here. Hey, I'm Bricks. I'll reach out and shake their hands. You must be Lord Marshall. I'll shake.
I do just stare at your extended hand, and then the lumbering fellow walks up and shakes your hand for me.
I wouldn't touch that.
Who the fuck is this?
This is Riddick.
What does his hand feel like in my hand?
He's wearing gloves.
Okay.
Because I found that I'm having a really hard time stopping his decay and stuff. And so he is getting a little slimy. So it feels firm. But
does he look like a corpse?
There's a squish to it. I've actually done really well with various. But he's wearing a helmet, first of all, so it's kind of hard to tell. But
he's well embalmed.
He is getting a little ripe, and he just reeks of fake pine. In fact, I think, it's right about this time. His mouth opens, and this cloud of comes out.
What the fuck? I'll just kind of push him back a little bit. Look,
Sorry.
I don't know what kind of fucking circus you're running here, but keep Mr. Happy away from me, all right? And then I'll turn to Wraith.
Yeah, not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm Wraith.
Riddick, you're making me look stupid.
Look, is this going to be a problem with this guy? He doesn't seem on the up and up. You got him under control?
Are you asking me, or did you ask?
Yeah,
Wraith
I'm looking at Lord
me?
Marshall right now. Yeah.
I thought you were asking Wraith about me. Do you think it's going to be a problem?
I know you're going to be a problem. I'm wondering if
No.
Riddick is going to be a problem.
No, he listens. He's a good boy. It's all right. Yeah, just sorry, he's just getting a little it's raining. It's a little wet out here, and he just has some muscle control issues I'm working on. Okay. It's not
So
your
which
fault.
one of you two is the diver? Is that you? I'll look over
That's
at
me.
Wraith. Pointing. It's you. All right.
Well, it depends on what you're talking about, actually.
What do you mean?
Diving.
It's this guy.
And you're a scion.
We just don't talk about that too much. I'm also an author.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that later, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, Lord
Read
Marshall.
anything I read?
You might know me from.
Lord Marshall, can you do a scan on the building and figure out if we've got some? I'm guessing there's going to be plenty of security that we're going to have to disable to make an entry that's not alerted to the UN investigator or anybody else. Can you do that?
We did see all of the flashing lights out front. You saw all the cops out there, right? Aren't you a cop?
Yeah. I'm talking about the interior. Once we go inside, I want us to be like ghosts. You know what I'm saying?
Hang on, and I'll try and connect to the system.
Go ahead and make a hacking check.
All right, dice. What's up? So that's 2 on 2 dice. So 8 and then 13, 17.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a great roll. In general, if you're rolling above, just as a general rule of thumb, if you're rolling above a 15, that's usually pretty
Nice.
good. Solid place to land. Okay. So, Lord Marshal, this building was air gapped. I say was. It is highly compromised. And the net diving infrastructure, the security protocols are horrendously scrambled. Either some sort of highly skilled net diver creating pure chaos, or some sort of horrendous omni-virus sort of program to do this. But we're talking pretty state-of-the-art security apparatus, and all of them have been rendered largely useless.
But it's nothing that's currently functioning. Like it's not a.
It's sporadically functioning.
No, as far as like what is. I don't need to like back out because I'm going to get infected kind of way.
Right. You don't sense any sort of program. It's more like something was there that did the damage.
Okay.
And now things are highly dysfunctional within. You'll get like security systems pinging on, like cameras saying they're recording but not actually recording, or you'll get cameras that like ping on just for a moment and then turn off. Like everything is just glitching out heavily.
Can I fix any of it? I don't want to start anything recording, but I would like to have eyes inside.
Most everything would take quite a long time for even you to unscramble.
Cool. I will disconnect and turn to them and with a completely straight face say, everything looks great inside. We should be fine.
Then I guess it's time for me to go inside and do what I do.
Rix, one last thing. Are you contacting Emery?
Yeah, I'm getting a sense that I should probably call Emery. So I will quickly pull out my communication device and just be like, it'll be ringing.
I feel like I need to read Lord Marshall's
One
mind
second.
again.
There's some things you can't unsee, Ty.
You picking up, Emery?
I'm sorry. Bricks, what are you doing? Nothing's happened over here. We're all good. I mean, I'm all fine.
What do you mean we?
Nothing at all.
Are Kang and Trista there?
No.
Insight check.
All right. Well, look, I'm not going to be back in time for the thing that we had planned.
Okay.
I got called in for a bit of a late night work event.
Hey, those
And we
dumplings are going to be overdone then. I should probably take them off the stove.
Dumplings. Okay. We just got raided by Kayla Janelle and a crew of people, so we're going to be here for a little while. You okay? You sure?
I'm fine. Nothing's going on here. I was just watching the old film of, it's called like Desperate Housewives.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's an old thing. It's old.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Yep. Okay. Yep. All right. Look, have fun.
All right. Am I coming out to visit you, or am I staying here?
I mean, this is a crime scene. I don't know why you'd want to be coming out here. This is probably not. No. Paul, give me something to work with here. Am I inviting them to? It just seems like I don't
you
know if
had
I'd be
offered
inviting
her. No. You had you had offered her that with you might have a contract working for the police.
Yeah.
And that if they want to get in on it, they could earn some money. So yeah.
All right, look. This could get you killed, but it could also make you some money.
Look, I've already been killed by being in the slammer for 2 years. We're good. Where do I
I
need
mean-
to
I
be?
mean-
Just send me the coordinates, and I'll
like dead
There
killed,
you-
but
2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
all right. Yep. Okay. I'm thinking against. This is going against my better judgment right now. Okay, I'll send you the details.
Thank
Emery, would you
you.
like to make a charisma check with Officer Bricks?
Charisma, yes. Oh,
Officer
yeah.
Bricks, can you make an intuition check for me, please?
Okay.
Yeah.
12. 13. 14. Sorry.
All right. Let's see what I got here. Come on.
Thanks for the raid, Kayla. Great to see you. Appreciate you very much. Hope you had a wonderful evening over there on your place, whatever you were up to.
I know what they were up to. Can't
17.
imagine now.
You know
Okay.
what everyone's up to.
So
17.
Officer Bricks, it is definitely seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Emery just has a way around her that makes you think like you owe her. You got to do this. It's like a very soft pressure, and you're like, yeah.
All right. So I will send her the coordinates.
And did
And
I
with
hear
that-
did I hear Wraith trying to read my mind?
If I can, I want to.
I got a 13 on my willpower.
So did I. I got a 13.
Oh, that's so who
Ooh.
wins?
Yeah, who wins?
Doesn't
why
it usually
don't
go
we
to
have
the active?
Usually it goes to the attacker, which would be Wraith reading the
Okay.
lines.
I
So Wraith,
am thinking.
yeah.
Go ahead.
yeah. No, you
Oh.
go ahead.
I'm thinking. I don't really care what it looks like in there. I need this money, so whatever. Let's do this.
Emotionally, you might be detecting a little bit of like confusion or like anxiety, or what is your emotional state like, Lord Marshall?
Oh yeah, I'm. There's a lot of anxiety. In fact, I'm probably freely sweating at this point.
I just want to get something clear with you, Marshall. You said that everything's
Lord.
cool, and
Lord Marshall.
we'll get to that after we've established rapport. What exactly is going on inside there?
Everything was
No, I
I'm sure
don't.
it's fine.
Okay, why don't we start over again? This is okay. This is a symbol for cutting the shit.
that.
What's going on
The symbol
inside?
for cutting the shit.
It is right now. Because I'm cutting. Yeah. This
Okay.
shit right here. Yeah.
Okay.
We can't just go in there blind. If there's something that we need to know, because you're not going to get paid and I'm not going to get paid, but I'm also not going to die in the process of you doing something that's not going to get you paid.
There is
It's a fucking
nothing
murder
that I
scene in
saw.
there.
There is nothing that I saw that
I
points
look over
to
at Bricks.
there being any sign that you're going
Bricks.
to die inside there.
I know people. This guy's not being all.
Hey. Wraith, if you're not cut out for this kind of thing, I mean, you can hang back.
Right?
You know?
What the officer said.
Hey,
Actually, you know what? You might
don't
be
back
right.
me up yet. The whole report thing that Wraith was talking about, it still hasn't been established between us either. Okay, that's one thing I agree with.
Yeah. There's no rapport that's been established yet. You know what? If you want to go in there first, take a look around. Let me know if there's something there you think I can help with. I can wait out
Can you
here.
handle this shit? Can you handle?
I
your
can
shit?
handle anything, but what I can't handle is going in blind if we're not going to be given the information that
We got
certain people ought to
multiple
have.
homicides.
Okay.
We got multiple homicides. We got a potential serial killer on the loose. Okay.
You have a net diver right here. This is yours, Bricks.
This is
they
not
don't
mine.
know.
I'm not responsible for any of this or that one over there either,
Yep. But
Mr.
I'm
Happy.
trying to help you
which I
by
like.
using my talents to tell you that this guy is hiding something.
What are you hiding?
Okay,
Thank you,
look.
by the way. What are you hiding?
I'm going to look at Riddick. Okay, just Riddick, go climb in that window and walk around inside. There.
Are you steering Riddick over to the window?
Yes.
Is Riddick walks up to the window. I mean, you're controlling Riddick,
Right.
ultimately. Is he breaking through the window or like lifting it or what is he?
No. I'm gonna try and get him to lift it. I'll be like, okay, now put your arms up. Yeah. Okay, good. Oh yeah, good job. Okay, lift.
He's rather dexterous, actually.
Okay. The window
so
is
much
locked.
Child.
The window
Yeah,
is
kinda
locked.
like that.
The window is definitely locked.
We can't go in a door or anything.
Actually, I take it back. The window is perpetually unlocking and locking constantly.
Oh, nice. So at some point it would be like click and open as he was pushing on it.
You could try, but it would take quite a bit of timing, and we would say that Riddick is probably not the most reactive individual in the world to time it very well.
I'm thinking we're not going to get paid tonight.
Oh, I gotta get paid. Look, I gotta
Call
get
off,
paid.
call off your friend.
We gotta go inside though.
Yeah, but a little bit more tactfully than this. Have you ever done anything like this before? What are you like, 18 or something?
I am not. I am older than that.
You brought this kid, Wraith, or is this
I
Lore?
didn't bring. This is Valor.
Lore set us up with this kid. Now you.
You know,
I
I'm a legal
understand.
adult in most countries.
Mhm.
Including
Old
here.
enough to own a
Including
pet,
here.
I guess, huh?
And as this conversation goes on, Emery, you jump the wall. You land. You land, of course, tripping on your way down, nearly fall. As you come down clumsily, these guys kind of going at it, kind of turn towards you, and that's where we'll end tonight.
Oh my God, we're so screwed. We are so screwed.
And break into a serial killer murder scene with this group.
Oh,
It's gonna be
my
amazing.
God. That was really fun, and this is awesome. But we are totally fucked. We've got a zombie and an extremely klutzy agent.
Yeah, Emery
on our
and
hands.
Riddick should get along real well.
We're gonna
I'm
have to
saying.
babysit.
I
these
think
two.
Emery and
I think
Here's
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
get
noticing.
along really well with him.
Let's hear it, Ty.
3 of these things are quite like the others. One of these things is nothing like the same. I'm the only one that's not desperate AF to get this job.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it is.
It's just,
Oh
it's
my
just how
God.
desperate is
Right.
Rick to deal with this.
That'll be
What a
the eau de toilette that I put in Riddick next. Desperation.
Desperation. That's sexy. Paul, thank you so much for putting this story together. This is going to be great. Very, very excited to see what happens and how horribly we all die. It's going to be great. Let's do some outros. Let's say our goodbyes, and then I'll find someone to raid into, and we'll raid and call it a night. So let's start with Ty. Let's start with you, my friend.
Hey, everybody. Dungeon Mr. Ty. You know who I am. Adventure Sling Productions, creators of New of Arden and the Fortunes D4 system. Working on an upcoming extended adventure. The first one that Adventure Sling will be producing for New of Arden. It'll be a little while, but it'll be a New Year's sort of offering. So excited to get that put together. Written by my friend Mike Kieran. Yeah.
Nice.
3-part adventure. Yep. Getting it all pulled together right now to get it pretty. And we'll have that available for you in 2026. And other than that, podcasts and free downloads and exciting things galore. I'll be here for the next couple of sessions, also at KublaCon in Burlingame this Veterans Weekend. So if you happen to be in the Bay Area, in the San Francisco area, stop on by and we'll roll dice. And that's what I'm doing.
Thank you so much, Ty. Great to have you back here with some Eidolons.
Yeah.
Let's jump over to Tara. Nomi, what up?
Just chilling over here. I'm really enjoying this character just because of the accent. That's literally where I'm at right now with her. But you guys, if you want to find me, if you want to give me any suggestions, I will take them and I will run with them. You can find me on any social as either Your Know Me or Your Know Me Too. I even have like just about every social you can probably think of. So get a hold of me, say hi, say hey, I'm a nerd, I liked
socials.
it, whatever. All the socials. That's
Amazing.
it.
Thank you so much for being here. We need you. And then also, I feel like you're going to get us all in a lot of trouble. So here we go. Thank you so much, Tara. And next, Jeremy, I'm so excited to have you back on the channel. It's been a little while, and I love playing games with you. So welcome.
Thanks for
tell
having
us
me.
whatever you want to tell us.
I'm Jeremy. You can find me on the socials at WH Pubs for those that I'm on. I'm not on that one any longer. Yeah. Or here on Twitch at Wanderers Haven. I write stuff and I stream stuff, although it has been several months since I've done so, as I've been on a hiatus. And I'm here playing Lord Marshall, which has been, I really enjoy the fact that the idea of this character sparked in Paul the need to create stuff for this class. So I appreciate that. That was a ton of fun. I'm having a blast with it. Also, I want to say thanks to Naomi and Paul for being like, hey, we got to get out of here on time because you have to go to work. And I'm just like, ha ha ha, let's keep playing. So
It's hard to stop.
Right?
It's hard to stop. So glad that you're here, Jeremy. Thank you so much. Wanderers Haven is such an awesome community of really cool people, and it's great to be connected with you and them. And last but not least, the man who created House of Eidolons and is running this crazy hijinks of a crime noir, murder mystery, serial killer hunt thriller. Paul, thank you so much. It's great to have you here. It's great to be connected with you and just be playing games with you. I just love it.
Yeah, no, thanks. This was a lot of fun. I had a blast kind of taking each of you in your own little parts and seeing you guys explore your characters a lot. And yeah, Paul Penburrow on socials, author or co-author of House of Eidolons. We will be kickstarting here in the very near future, probably early next year, right around the time that this is a prelude. This is leading up. This is setting the stage for a bigger House of Eidolons that's coming in January, February, right around the time that we're kickstarting. So it will be really cool to see where this all goes because it's going to really inform where the next piece picks up. Super fun. Lord Marshall, Jeremy, loved your idea. I was brilliant. I was like, oh, yeah, of course. This makes so much sense. So, no, it did spark a lot of creativity, and I really appreciate you just coming in with that ask and that creativity. Because, I mean, when you're making your own stuff, you can kind of just really be inspired. And
let's find a way to make this happen.
Yeah, exactly. So no, and I'm enjoying Riddick profusely, especially his spray, his breath weapon is quite great.
It's grody.
Just wait till I light it on fire. No spoilers or anything, but pine scented fire should be fun.
Yeah. But this has been great. Come join us next week, Thursday, as they head into the house to investigate what has gone down.
Can't wait. We'll be back next week with that. We'll be back here on Tuesday night with Shadows of Greyhawk. We're heading back to Diamond Lake for a couple of sessions, and I'm very excited to dive back into the Whispering Cairn and the Age of Worms adventure path. We've been having a blast. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus. We'll be back later in November with more of Jose's Greyhawk Unearthed. So Tuesday nights have been sort of our Greyhawk vibe, and we're going to continue with that into the new year, it looks like. So very excited about that and all the good stuff that's happening. I just want to give a shout out to our awesome Discord community and for being awesome and being a good place to be. We had a little bit of a spammer get into our shit today, and it was frustrating. To say the least, but we took care of it, and it's great that there's some people that are stepping up to help moderate, and so I'm looking forward to working with people on that. Anyhow, great people, a great place to hang out, and it's safe. It's a safe place. We're not really on social media anymore. Not unlike Tara, we've sort of abandoned all of it. So you can't really find any updates on any socials, and I don't anticipate that changing anytime soon. So come on over to our Discord if you're not a spammer, please, and hang out with us, and you'll fit in well. If you're a spammer, we'll kick your ass and send you packing. All right, we're gonna raid into Bad House RPG. It looks like they are in the midst of a finale. So let's go ahead and give them some good old fashioned Guilds Pure Love. I think they're playing Vampire the Masquerade. They are, which is great. And I see Kendo and some other familiar faces over there. So thank you all for being here. We'll see you on Tuesday for some Shadows of Greyhawk, and back here next Thursday for more of House of Eidolons. See you, everybody. Bye-bye.